What's up, DBs? Coach D Magic here, former D1 defensive back. We're here to talk about Riley Moss and Cooper DeJean. Now, the reason why these two are such polarizing corners is that they're white, and a lot of people were saying that they can't play the position because they were white. And I actually made a video about Cooper DeJean a while ago before he got drafted about why I felt like he could play in the NFL, so I'll link that in the description. But the reason why I feel like I need to make a video like this and why I guess you would say I'm supporting these two is because the reasons why you say that they can't play the position are things that they can't control. And coming up in high school, you know, I'm a 5'8", 5'9" DB, and D1 coach after D1 coach said I can't play the position because of my height. I don't care what your highlight tape looks like. I don't care that you're locking up our 5-star recruit. I have a preference and you don't meet that preference or that prejudice. So I feel like regardless of the skin color, if there is a DB anywhere that is not getting the, I would say, the just due that they deserve because of something that they can't, something that they can't control, I'm gonna come to bat for them because I felt that same prejudice, but in a different way. All right, so enough of me talking. All right, so I really like plays like this because one thing that coaches or people are afraid of when it comes to the white corner is their ability to play press man. You don't really see it too often, I'm going to be honest, but Iowa has been putting DBs out left and right lately, so they're teaching it correctly, apparently. So 3rd and long, all right, we're in press man. We have to understand that we're probably going to get something deep on 3rd and long. So he does a good job of getting hands-on early, all right? So I'm assuming this is deeper in the game, so you should know what the receiver likes to do, all right? So if that receiver is gonna hop off the line with his chest in front of you, throw a hand, all right? He's gonna throw his outside hand, he's gonna throw his inside hand, his off hand, anticipating an outside release because the receiver needs to get vertical on 3rd and 15. If he does go inside after we throw that hand, we can switch and throw our correct offhand here. All right, so he just gets hands on early, shows that he's confident in his technique, confident in his speed. All right, and we get multiple hands on. All right, I call it alternating strikes. Your hands are working independent on your feet. Strike, 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 strike. Our feet are still moving. All right, we get the receiver to stutter because we're overwhelming him with all the strikes here. All right, independent hands, independent feet. We stay on top, squeeze the hip, get our head back early, high point the football. I don't care what color you are, that is elite. And then also, guys, like I would say 75% of the NFL, corners in the NFL, they're playing off coverage. Not everyone is pressing every down. You're not Patrick Peterson. Who else used to do it? You're not Darrelle Revis, all right? Even Patrick Surtain is not pressing every single time. So if you have good technique, if you can understand formations, be able to get a good read on the quarterback, you can play corner. Like I said, like only the elite guys can stay in press man all game, all right? So we get tight splits, right? Looks like it's just a simple cover 3, all right? Tight splits, we get one vertical, so we're pretty much gonna match the deepest vertical in our zone. We're gonna be outside leverage. Let's see the down and distance. Looks like it's just second and 5, all right? So he's gonna go within scooch, 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 all right? And he's just gonna stay patient and protect his leverage. We're outside leverage. All right, we do a good job of not biting on any of the hesitation. Actually, once we get hesitation, that tells us to slow our feet down. He stays square and he protects his outside leverage. Good play, the ball doesn't go his way, but this is solid coverage, guys. This play here, we get another tight split. We're outside leverage, all right? We get a heavy inside stem here. We wanna shuffle, all right, as long as possible. I would say, try to shuffle as long as you can because you never know when he's going to whip back out, all right? But it does look like he's going to run an over route, so I understand why we open up. Shuffle, stay patient. He hasn't yet crossed the hash, crossed the middle of the field. Once he gets vertical here, we want to straighten up, all right? Because it It is very possible that he's going to run a post, but at the same time, sorry, we didn't identify the coverage. When we do have quarters, all right, when we do have a quarter safety, or maybe it could be a cover 3 safety, it plays out the same, honestly. So whenever we get this safety who's free, if his number 2 blocks or after we clear the run, he's going to pretty much play our middle robber. All right, so we can bracket this if it's in quarters. If he's a weak rotation cover 3 guy, he can be there to provide some body presence as well. So we can play outside until he fully commits to the other side of the field, at which point we would play over the top. All right. But we got to be ready for anything over the top and outside here. All right. We get a little ahead of ourselves, but we do a good job of flipping our hips. And that's another thing. All right. Can a white corner flip his hips? And at the end of the day, guys, I've seen plenty corners of different races not be able to flip their hips. So it's not like one race is superior than the other, but there are more, there are more that can on one side of the coin than the other, or one side of the color wheel or spectrum than the other. All right. At the end of the day, he flips his hips. Get your head around first, locate that near hip, close space. That ball's not there yet. So as we close space, we can get our eyes back to the ball and undercut or come underneath with our long arm. Good play. And then again, we're showing press man here. Can you play press man? And a lot of guys in the NFL, they play soft press because there's just so much space. The guys are way better. All right. You can't really live in press man the whole time. So a lot of times you got to give ground. So give ground, gives us a move. All right. Do we have closing speed? Do we have long speed? All right. We're still on top of the vertical. Whether we open, we still stay square. He gets us inside. All right. Regardless, are we on top of the vertical within the first 5 yards? Are we on top of the vertical within the first 5 yards? We are. Stays on top of the vertical. Again, gets his head around once we get in phase. Shows me he's comfortable in the position. You can tell when a DB is uncomfortable when he never gets his head around. Comfortable makes it really tough on the receiver. All right. So those are the things that show me that, I mean, obviously he's a starter in the league, right? But these are the things that show me that he can be around for a long time. Again, regardless of color. Good job, Riley Moss. Now we got Cooper DeJean, also from Iowa, and I'm a big fan of Iowa because you put out Riley Moss, you put out Cooper DeJean. They got Sebastian Castro on the way. You got a bunch of guys coming out of there. Another safety, I believe, that's definitely going to get drafted here pretty soon. Cooper DeJean. Could he play corner? All right. For the Eagles, they don't need him to play corner. He's a Swiss Army knife. He can return punts. He can tackle. He could play corner. He could play in the slot. He could play safety. So I feel like putting him at corner limits his abilities when he can do so much for you. And then you already got Slay, and then you drafted Quinyon Mitchell. So him not playing corner for them isn't a result of him not being able to. But if you got a guy who can tackle, who can blitz, who can play man in the slot, who can play safety, who can return punts, corner is, again, limiting what he can do. Cooper Kupp, Cooper DeJean. All right, we're in the slot, outside leverage. Okay, take a patient step. Take a leverage step to the outside, all right? As he's dancing, if he's gonna walk forward into our chest, we have a good understanding of our range. If he walks forward, as we take our patient step, boom, get hands on, all right? And obviously you gotta know where your help is. So it looks like he has some type of body help by this safety here. So we can really protect our leverage step, punch, get hands on. All right, now we're able to redirect with Cooper Kupp as well. All right, we can be handsy within the first 5 yards. As we need to redirect, we do a good job of getting our hands low. Getting our hands low here and then getting them off. All right, very quickly, all right, to prevent holding. Again, shows me he's comfortable because a lot of guys will have bad eyes. They'll pull, they'll hold. This will end up in a flag, but it shows me he's comfortable in the position. He's not panicking. He's not backing up out of there. I don't care if it's Cooper Kupp. And Cooper Kupp makes a lot of guys look silly off this first move because they're not patient. Step, hands on, makes it look easy here. And I'm a little short on the Cooper DeJean highlights as far as the NFL because I've already did videos on him. So again, check out those videos. I'll put a link in the description, but Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp are two of the best route runners in all of football. So these two plays show me everything I need to know. And remember, guys, playing in the slot is more difficult than playing on the outside because you really don't have the sideline as your help, and they have way more space, way more creativity in the slot. So we go from being on Tutu Atwell, we get a motion, and now at the last second, we got to switch our train of thought. So we go from thinking about, okay, how am I going to guard this small, quick guy, fast guy, to now in a split second, I got to guard Puka Nacua. So like your plan of action has to change in a split second. All right. So again, we're outside leverage. We get that inside stem. He stays square by shuffling. All right. Even when we shuffle, a good route runner like Nacua is going to get, he's going to get, he's going to win some parts of the routes, I would say. All right. But at the end of the day, he doesn't get us turned around because we stay square. So now all we got to do is flip our hips. All right. And then from here, we're where we want to be anyway. We want to be in that, we want to be on that hip. We want to be in that low hip. All right, because if he runs vertical straight up the field, we should have a middle field safety tracking over the top. Anything else, all right, inside route, outbreaking route, we want to get under the hip. We want to slice the hip, all right? And when you slice the hip, you got to slice it with good eyes. So once the route declares, we have to accelerate to this new hip, to the new inside hip, all right? You can't look back for the ball. So once the route declares, slice, accelerate to the new hip. And then if we have time, we can turn and look for the ball. If we don't have time, we want to be poised in the moment and we want to play through the hands. And the good thing about this is that we don't make contact with the receiver. The receiver's jumping. All right, he's jumping backwards. So his momentum's already going backwards. It's not like we're pushing him. His momentum's already going backwards. This is a better view right here. All right. Very minimal contact here. And we're attempting to turn our head. All right. And we're playing through the hands. All right. So if I'm Puka Nacua, I think if he stops and jumps, like, not stops and jumps, but if he tries to work back through us, he's probably has a better chance at getting a flag called on us. But at the end of the day, all right, there's space between us and the receiver. The receiver is the one that's jumping backwards. His momentum is carrying him backwards. All right, we do a good job of not putting a body on him while we're in trail and getting a flag, and then just staying poised in the moment and making a play. All right, so he made these plays against two of the top route runners, against one of the best quarterbacks at throwing where his guys can get the ball in the league, in the slot. So that's my review on Riley Moss and Cooper DeJean so far. Two white corners out of Iowa doing their thing in the league. I hope they can keep it up. Make sure you go grab our DB Mastery program if you like this video, if you want to learn these techniques, how to play in the slot, how to play off man, over 100 drills to help you become elite. That link will be in the description as well. Appreciate you guys. Peace.